Hi, we're Richard and Jackie from Early Retirement Wanderlust.
We are currently halfway through our 3-week campervan road trip around the southwest counties of England. We've been through Dorset, we've been through Devon, and now we are heading into Cornwall.
So, we're nearly halfway through our southwest of England coastal tour, and we are now in sunny South Cornwall. It's an area we've never really explored before. We've been to Cornwall loads, but mainly on the north coast.
So we're not exactly sure what we are going to find, and we're certainly not sure of how long it's going to take us, because we're just going to play it by ear, and if we find something we like, we're going to stop and we're going to stay there. After a week and a half of touring, it's been quite a bit of driving, and we are just after a little bit of downtime, and we have found a gem of a campsite. More of that later in the video, but just have a look and see what we got up to yesterday. Hopefully you will have seen that we had a great day just discovering so many hidden little coves. We used National Trust car parks that seem to be situated all around the coast to find these places. They are a bit of a trek from the car park down to the beaches, but just really try and make the effort, because once you're down there, there's a real sort of Robinson Crusoe feel. You feel like you're in the middle of nowhere, and they are just beautiful. We were a little bit gutted because we'd already got a campsite booked, but we stumbled upon the most beautiful National Trust campsite. It was really basic in this tiny little village next to the church. Not many facilities, but it just looked beautiful. And to be honest, if we hadn't been booked in here, we would have sneaked there for a night, because it was just idyllic.
But by that point, we'd actually booked into this campsite, and actually, we have done pretty well here. It was a campsite that I had seen on Instagram. Someone had said that they'd booked in right by the beach. It was really cheap. It had got a nice restaurant and bar by it, and they weren't wrong. We're at Pentewan Sands. It is a huge campsite, but at the moment it's really quiet, so we've got it to ourselves. And it was £13.50 a night with no electric hookup, and we don't need it. We've got the solar panel. It was a little bit more, well, it's quite a lot more if you want electric hookup, but yeah, £13.50 a night. It's that good. We've stayed for a second night, and it's actually given us a chance to have a little bit of a rest.
Yeah, and it's fair to say it's probably not our sort of campsite. It was when we had kids, and if you've got young family, it would be amazing in the summer holidays. But for this time of year, for, our age of travellers, shall we say, it's ideal because it's cheap as chips, it's on the beach, and it's just got all the facilities, including an indoor swimming pool.
So we've had a really quiet morning. So what I think we're going to do now is get our walking boots on and go for a bit of a hike to Mevagissey, which is about 2 miles around the coast. So we'll see how we get on. The walk across to Mevagissey was, I'm going to say, undulating. It was very up and down, but it was absolutely beautiful. We went past a cove that we spied to go back to on the way back that had the steepest steps ever to get back out of.
Yeah, the Southwest Coast path was just beautiful, and we've just been doing like little snippets of it. Hats off to those people that walk the full length of it, because that's a real physical challenge.
And we loved Mevagissey Harbour. It was actually really quiet because it was a weekday. The sun did come out for a bit while we were there, and we had a portion of chips that we shared on the harbour front with the seagulls. It was just so lovely.
And then when we got back with brightening weather, we had our first barbecue, or braai of the season, because obviously Jackie's South African. We'd got earlier on in the trip some boerewors, which is a South African sausage. So yeah, we just had the best night and the best sunset cooking boerewors.
So our time at Pentewan Sands is up, and we are moving around the coast. So have a look where we go to next.
I don't know whether I'm just being a bit nerdy or I'm getting a little bit older, but I just love the history of this place, and I think it's a really good excuse to get out and walk. So we went along the coastal path as you've seen, and we just discovered some amazing old tin mines. I just love the social history of that, and you know, the thought of the hundreds of years of work that went into that and the people that had gone before us. So yeah, had a great time discovering those.
Yep, we were also aiming to get down to a cove that we had spied on the map, but when we got there it was completely high tide and there was just seaweed and rocks, so we didn't quite make it all the way down, and that also messed up our next plans because we were going to go to Mount St Michael. Again, it was high tide, so we would either have to get the boat across, but we really want to walk, so we're going to leave it till next week when we're at St Ives, and I think it's about a half-hour drive from there.
But out of adversity comes a blessing, so instead of carrying on round the coast and doing our walks, we decided to head to Mousehole. And what a place that was. Have a look.
I think I found one of my new favourite places. It was absolutely stunning in Mousehole. The harbour had crystal clear waters with the colourful boats just bobbing around on it. The little village was just so sweet. Definitely another place I want to return to.
But not if you're driving, because I didn't have the bottle to go down there. There was loads of warning signs and we probably did the right thing of not driving in there. So we just parked further up the road and had about a half a mile walk into the village. And then we came here to stay, which is a community facility that we found on Park for the Night, based in a beautiful little village called Treen.
Yeah, it was an absolutely fab little find. It is basically a car park. It's got a field that it extends out to in the summer. It has a car parking machine that wasn't working. It wouldn't take any cards and we didn't have £10 in coins. So luckily the man came round and collected the money at night because I was panicking a little bit about staying without having paid. It's got public toilets next to it, so great for us with no onboard facilities. It was just perfect for what we needed.
It's ideally located on the coastal path. Within the village there's a little pub, there's a campsite up the road that's got a shop, and probably more importantly for us, we are going to have a wander down to Porthcurno, which is I think about a 20-minute walk from here, and it's meant to be one of the most idyllic little bays in the area, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, the sun's come out. I think we'll get going.
So that's it, that's the end of our first part of the Cornish adventure, and it's a Saturday morning.
And behind us you might just see some white buildings. We're about to reach Land's End, so it's the turning point of us going onto the north coast.
So we will see you next time as we head north up to some of our favourite north coast surfing beaches. See you later.
Bye.